I've just been out to get some craft supplies so I can share some fun projects with you. If you've not tried it before, air dry clay is so therapeutic and so fun. There's lots of inspiration here on my channel. Upstairs in my craft room, I am currently having a full clear out. I have a new piece of furniture on the way. So thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video. Let me share with you our first air dry clay creation that I know you're going to love. I've rolled a large ball of clay to about 8mm in thickness. This is going to be a Fiesta-inspired candlestick holder. A really fun design to get you inspired, which could be adapted and changed in so many ways. Have you guessed it? This is going to be a sombrero. Here I have the rim of the hat, and so I need to cut out the centre. Kneading together another ball of clay that I'll smooth, and this is going to be the top of the hat, so we just need to create that shape with the air dry clay. A candle is going to be able to be placed in the centre here, so I use the actual candlestick to mark on where I need to cut out. Taking a knife or a loop tool to cut out this space. Going about 2 centimeters deep here. Do take your time and relax during every part of the process. Wiggling the candlestick in there a little bit to make the hole a little bit bigger to allow for some shrinkage. The base of this can also be hollowed out just a little bit. This allows plenty of air to get around it and allowing the clay to dry. That's another reason for cutting the hole out of the disc of clay too. There's still enough platform for the candlestick to sit on. Marking where the top of the hat will sit, then using the score and slip method to attach the two pieces together. If you're new to air dry clay, I have many videos on here showing you lots of tips, tricks and techniques for all of these kinds of pieces. A coil of air dry clay goes right around the edge to really strengthen this join. Do you see how we smooth this together and make all of this piece into one again? At this stage you can think absolutely any hat you may wish to make. A bit of slip or water on our fingers makes everything smooth out. Then using my thumb and fingers, I tease up the lip there to give that extra good shape on the sombrero and also make it into that little dish at the bottom. You may need something to hold up those sides, and that's not a problem at all. Here I have some tissue, or you can use some pencils or anything you have to prop it up. And then if you didn't like the idea of smoothing everything out, or if things are a little bit bumpy, you can take something like a paintbrush and give it some texture. One last check to make sure the candlestick will fit in for size before I leave it to dry. Something like this I will leave for probably up to a week just to make sure it is fully dry. The finished texture on this I absolutely love now that it's dry, and it really suits being a straw hat, so no need to sand it at this stage. But if you've gone for a different design, then you can sand down and sand out any imperfections on air dry clay once it is fully dry. I'm now painting the candlestick holder with acrylic paints. Take your time and enjoy this part. On a project like this, painting it really is one of my favourite parts of the process. This one's a great chance for using lots of bright, fun colours and adding in lots of lovely details. If you are enjoying my videos, please do subscribe, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments if you have any thoughts on any of my projects or future projects. How would you make one of these? Let me know below. We had a fun Mexican themed party at home, and this was my inspiration for this part of the video. What do you think of it? I do love this one, and I have another really fun project to share with you in a moment. My new desk has just arrived for my craft room. Thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video. When choosing a new desk for my craft room, I love the idea of having one that could move between sitting and standing positions. When I'm crafting and also filming these videos, I need a really steady and sturdy table. After looking round at various tables, FlexiSpot seemed to offer exactly what I was looking for. Most sitting and standing tables seem to have 2 legs, but then I found this one, the E7 Plus, with 4 legs, for added stability. I also have some heavier machines that I'd like to place and use on this table, so the 4 legs gives me more load capacity. I'm amazed that I can sit on it and that the motor works perfectly at the same time. The 4 legs providing enhanced stability during lifting and lowering. I love it, I really do. I'm putting a fair amount of pressure on it. This table's not going anywhere. The keypad makes it really easy to use, and you can personalize it to store your perfect settings. I have every confidence in the stability of this table, as I can put my whole weight on the very edge here, and it doesn't show the slightest bit of tipping at all. Two-leg tables can take up to about 110 kilograms, but this one can take up to 240 kilograms, meaning my kids could also sit on this with me as it moves up and down. This has a really high lift. If needed, you may be able to utilize the space underneath when the tabletop is up and out of the way. It's definitely the highest one I've ever seen. If you're interested in taking a look at this, I'll put the links in the description and comments. A great price compared to other standing desks of this quality, and FlexiSpot offer a 15-year warranty. Back to the clay. Such a fun make, and I hope you make something similar. Moving on to another really fun project with air dry clay. I have about a tangerine sized piece of clay here. I've rolled it and I've kneaded it slightly and smoothed it into a lovely ball, and now rolling it into a bit more of a sausage shape. For this we're going to think octopus, an octopus kind of shape. And so for this next one I have some craft wire. This craft wire is fairly thick and it's 25 centimeters long. So I'm rolling this to a rather thick finger size shape, and we don't necessarily need it all here. So I've rolled this out really nice and smoothing everything out as well. And I'm going to cut this off, I think at about 16 centimeters. So I'm going to cut here using a ruler, using anything, using a knife. And with this, we're thinking octopus shape. And so I would like a nice curl on this. And so I am simply going to take my wire and bend it. And then I'm actually going to insert this into the end here and add the wire, hopefully successfully, all the way through the centre. The other way I sometimes do this is actually place the wire into it, press the wire fully in, and then we seal the gap. That's also fine if you find that much easier. Creating with air dry clay is all about just enjoying yourself, enjoying the process, and so we all have different ways of doing things, and so find a way that works for you. So basically I have my piece of wire and the air dry clay is just moulded around it in this large sort of finger shape, and we're thinking of octopus tentacles, so we're going to make 8 of these and they're all going to be various different curls and curves. So if you have a tighter curl, it might be easier where you bend the wire and then add the air dry clay to that shape. While working with the air dry clay, it does start to dry out, and if that happens, we can just take a little bit of water on our fingers and just allow ourselves to smooth out all of those cracks. So that's what I do right now. Of course, if you want to miss any steps like the smoothing, you're perfectly fine too. And then I want to add some texture and detail to these pieces. So I have a pin or a needle here, and I'm simply going to use this and I'm going to draw some nice lines, some nice details. There's absolutely no artistic ability needed here. I love projects that are like this. Go all wibbly wobbly and do some nice lines. And then for the tentacles, I like to cheat a little bit with this kind of project. Instead of adding them out on the surface, which can take an awful long time to add all those little suckers, so I do mine in the opposite way, and I take the end of a paintbrush and I add my marks in that way, all the way along the inside of my tentacle. And if you see, we get some lovely textures with that, so spend a little bit of time and make lots of details. I then can set these aside and just let them dry fully while carrying on and making 7 more with various shapes and curves. Once everything is fully dry, I like to take some acrylic paints. You can mix up your own colours from the primary colours. I've mixed together a lovely pink here and some different tones of pink. Paint them all beautifully, absolutely any weird and wonderful colours. Then it's a really important step to varnish and seal the pieces to make sure no moisture can get inside the clay again and make it go soft. Then I like to take a plant, a cactus is really good for this, or any plant will do, and decorate it with your new octopus. A really fun project. I hope this video has inspired you to be creative and try something new and try out air dry clay. Thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.